Right, I'm Bongi Arosi, past pupil at Somerset College, class of 2010. So I grew up actually not too far from the school, just down the road, Avontier Estate. And I went to one of the farm schools there called Tonko Bosman. And family life, I grew up with sisters, four of them. And only boy, Lat Lamiki as well, as they call it. And at about, I think about age 12 or 11, I started hearing about Somerset College. I remember coming to the school. My mom worked for a lady called Wynn Channels, and it was her kids, Jeremy and Colleen Channels, who introduced me to the school, and we sort of got the ball rolling. And then in 2004, I officially started at the prep school in grade 6 it was. Yeah, so my dad early days was, and then he sort of went off and we went our separate ways, my mom and I, so she basically raised us as a single mother. So I mean, I came from very humble beginnings, as my mom was a domestic worker, so she certainly didn't have the funds, but tried her best, you know, to make sure that I had everything that I needed. So coming to Somerset College was a real adjustment. But in a way, I mean, I never really felt it as much, but I mean, it was something I was aware of, that, you know, I came from slightly more humble beginnings than probably my peers did. But yeah, I think probably the biggest challenge was adjusting academically. Yeah. I mean, I was blessed to have incredible support at the school. As mentioned, you know, from where I came from, the level of education wasn't that high. So I almost had to start from scratch, in a sense, and learn some basics. And the teachers here at Somerset College were great in doing that and getting me up to speed, so that by the time I got to high school, I could sort of keep up with the pack. So yeah, I mean, that's a blessing. We did a trip to Cape Agulhas, which was absolutely incredible. We sort of got to do a night's walk on the beach, beautiful starry night. That was absolutely exceptional. I mean, I would never have done something of the kind previously. But grade 8, I think, or high school is really where I think I took off. Certainly the biggest highlight for me was meeting the friends I did, as one of them has gone to become a brother to me, and I've sort of been adopted into the family in David Hepburn Brown, and so Mike and Cindy Hepburn Brown has taken me in, I suppose, as their second son, and that was incredible. And they exposed me to a lot of opportunities that I also wouldn't have had. And I think definitely for me it was on the sports field more so than in the classroom, where I would say that I excelled, rugby being one of them. Favorite sport, without a doubt. And I mean, I was lucky enough to represent the first teams in every single age group I played in. Got to captain a game or two for the first team, and of course going on the Argentina tour in my final year of school. Amazing. And that was being selected as a leader for the class of 2010, prefect, and I was also house captain of Crittenburg. And I was quite proud, because I felt that in my year we sort of turned the house around, and it was the first house, I suppose, at that particular point in time for a good part of the year. It's a proud moment. I came to Somerset College, started talking to people who had different dreams, and I suppose my whole mind expanded in terms of what was possible to what I had previously imagined. So that was life-changing, and I was obviously able to relay that back to some of my peers to say, hey, you don't just have to be this, you can be, you know, all of the above sort of thing. I mean, I definitely cannot speak of Somerset College without mentioning the teachers. They are definitely the unsung heroes of my entire journey, you know, at Somerset College. You know, from molding me in the classroom to out on the sports field. But I think from a mentorship point of view, it would definitely be on the sports field. The guys of, you know, Steve Knock, Dieter Lutke, you know, who coached me rugby growing up. So they played a crucial part in, I suppose, shaping me into the person I am today. I think Trek definitely is another standout for me, as that's something that Somerset College is known for, and one experience I had immense growth from, both as a student then, and I later came back as a leader because I never got to finish in my year, which was 2007, as we got flooded out. And the teacher who was leading my group in 2007 was Mark Pickering. And I recall I sort of just finished studying and I was sort of in between jobs, and he sent me a text to say, hey, I know you always wanted to do this, would you be keen? There's a spot open. And I said, absolutely. Grabbed the opportunity with both hands, and I recall the last day walking up to that dune. He was standing at the top, and probably one of the most emotional moments I've had probably, and sort of reflected on my entire school life and post-school life to get to that point. Really beautiful moment and special one, which we share, I think, or will share for life. A real standout in just the Somerset College community was that, I felt I belonged. At no point did I feel like, I was an outsider coming in just for a short while, and, that was going to be that. I really formed part of the community. Yeah, probably the highlight of my life, being a student. After school, I was fortunate enough to get into Simonsburg courses or residence. And I think that's what really sparked the passion for rugby even more, because I was around people who had played rugby at the highest level, and we sort of obviously combined. I turned my phone on and I had this voice message from Glacier by Sanlam saying, hi Bongi, we got your CV, we'd like to interview you for a potential position. And it was the Tuesday, and I just got back on the Friday, I think it was. So quickly got myself together, went to the interview, and was fortunate enough to land the position as an intern, client services intern. That was meant to be a year long, but after 6 months of some serious hard work trying to understand the business, my manager decided to promote me to becoming a full-time employee, which was sort of unheard of at the time. So I spent 2 years at Glacier in various positions. By the time I left, I was a tax consultant. And then I got headhunted by the biggest Sanlam group to join their sales team in broker distribution, where I was a broker consultant. And there I looked after intermediaries, or which most of us know as brokers. I happened to find PPS, and that's a place where I believe I'll be able to do just that. So, in terms of future plans, I'm currently studying to obtain my CFP, Certified Financial Planner, so that I can become a fully fledged financial broker, and one day hopefully go independent and start my own brokerage. From my own life experience, I've been fortunate enough to post-school spend time with kids who've come from similar backgrounds. And one thing I found in common with them was that our dreams are quite limited based on our environment that we're in. And one thing I tried to impart in them was that you can become whatever you want to become, but you just need to be exposed to different opportunities. And sometimes they come sooner, sometimes they come later, but never stop believing, never stop working hard into whatever you want to be in life. So if there is something that I can reflect on my journey at Somerset College, is a quote by Nelson Mandela that I strive to live by on a daily basis. And it goes something like this: there can be no greater gift than that of giving one's time and energy to help others without expecting anything in return. And that is how I feel about the ABT, and I feel that the ABT helped me without expecting anything in return, and I would like to help someone else without that expectation.